So I have to teach and remind myself this quite often, because when I got into this, I print on the best material. I use you guys.
Yeah.
I love it, and I put a lot of work into presentation and how the product is, but people don't connect with that as much as they could at least. So if you can kind of translate that into, hey, here's what this is going to do for you, here's how you're going to go from Mario into Super Mario, then that's where you're really going to hit that turning point. And it also shifts the focus off of you and your product to them and their solution. And that's big, because if you can make it about them and how this is going to help them, then that's just great on all regards.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I really like how you are explaining that, because and this doesn't just pertain to landscape, wildlife, or booth sales. So often I will see like an email newsletter or a social media post from a photographer, people that we work with day in and day out, and it's all focused on their story.
Yep.
How are they going to do this session? What is the location they're going to choose? How are they going to do this? Without remembering to focus on the client.
Yep.
Because naturally we all kind of like to talk about ourselves.
Yep.
And we want to be heard, and we want somebody who's a subject matter expert to help us solve that problem, if you will, for ourselves. So this is a really good lead in, and I know this is a big piece of your discussion. So for people who aren't familiar, what are soft skills? Like what's a good way to start that conversation?
Sure. So soft skills are simply non-technical skills.
Okay.
So when I think of soft skills, I think of people's facial expression, kind of like reading people, how their body language is, the tone and inflection of their voice.
Yeah.
It's all that stuff that you basically don't put on your resume, quote unquote. It's not the Microsoft Office training you did.
Okay.
It's not your photography certifications. It's everything else. And people forget that that's just as important, if not more important, than your hard skills that you put so much work and effort into. Okay. Because it's really easy, especially I have a computer science degree and very technical, to be like, hey, you're Cisco certified and you have the certification. And those are fun to go down and kind of knock down a little bit. But if you can't connect with people and utilize those soft skills and manage multiple conversations at the same time and read people's body language, then everything else is going to fall short. And it can be a little bit tough to see like other photographers, because photography is a big field that it's fun to get technical. It's fun to go down all the rabbit holes and, hey, look, I've eliminated all the noise using this software, and what tool do you use, and all that stuff. And you can do that alone, and it is pretty fun. But if you're not connecting with the people, then when you're at your booth or doing portrait work or session work out with a family, then those numbers aren't going to come through. And you can think that it might be a reflection that you don't have enough hard skills, when in reality, the issue might be that you don't have enough soft skills, and that you just need to spend more time connecting with people and maybe doing some advertising and stuff on top of that to really make that connection. Because at some point, your product is, good enough, right? Yeah. And we just need to build on there. So making your product better isn't going to offer as much of a payoff as you might think it will.
Right. In really thinking about that, and I'm going to talk about me for a second.
Yeah, you bet.
Like, I very much love the story behind the thing.
Yep.
The product, the print, the art, whatever that is, that's all fine and dandy. But if it evokes an emotion and a response and a connection back to the story of where that thing came from, that increases the value of that exponentially.
Definitely.
And if you have a personal relation, like looking at some of your images, if somebody was like, I love this and I love your story, but I can also relate to it because I was there.
Yep.
Or, I did this thing and it involved that, then it's exponentially higher value.